Next on News 3 Now at 6, how the city of Madison is recovering after yesterday's power outages. And a world-class musician and former UW professor is honored. We'll show you how. Plus, how the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County is fundraising to build a new local center.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
Thanks for joining News 3 Now at 6. I'm Amanda Quintana. Let's start with a look at your first alert weather with Dave Caulfield. Dave, are these storms ending for tonight at least?
For this evening, Amanda, we are in the clear, definitely in the severe weather clear after those powerful storms went through and swept out a lot of the humidity for southern Wisconsin, so it feels a lot better outside. Still some humidity left over, so there is a chance of a few more showers and thunderstorms, especially as we head into the overnight hours, but Doppler track a lot quieter than it was just a few hours ago. Temperatures are in the lower 70s, some middle 70s, a little bit closer to southwestern Wisconsin, but look at these heat index numbers, nowhere close to the triple digits. So a big improvement, and we'll see even more of an improvement, I think, as we head into the next couple of days. A live look in Madison at mostly cloudy skies on the Edgewater Skycam. Your day planner as you head into tomorrow. There is a chance, as I mentioned, of some showers and thunderstorms overnight, but I think they end early tomorrow morning, setting up a cooler and less humid day on Sunday. We'll talk about an extended stretch of nice and sunny weather for next week in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Dave. Continuing team coverage of yesterday's power outages. Power has been restored to all Madison Gas and Electric customers following yesterday's substation fires. Gabriella Becerra is here with more information on the recovery process. Gabby?
Today, Madison Gas and Electric says crews are at the site of the explosion to conduct their restoration process. Work crews are assessing the damage caused by the fire. Madison Gas and Electric says there is an ongoing investigation as to what caused the fires. There are also cleanup crews on site.
We're continuing to assess the extent of the damage and conduct an investigation. The cleanup work is ongoing, and it's what you would expect following a fire at a substation.
When asked what the cleanup entailed, MG&E said it is a cleanup and restoration of the substation. The Department of Natural Resources is overseeing the cleanup and providing technical assistance. DNR says their primary concern is containment of the material released by the explosion, including transformer oil and the runoff water used to fight the fire. MG&E says, quote, "We are not concerned about the forecasted weather impacting our ongoing restoration process. We are continuing to make substantial progress." Local restaurants are back in business today after having to shut their doors during the power outage. General managers say they were disappointed they couldn't be open heading into the weekend.
Obviously, you can never pick a day when these things happen, but having it be a Friday, always a bummer to have something like this happen on a Friday or a Saturday night.
Downtown restaurants affected by the power outage closed their doors to customers and tried to save their product.
We didn't lose any food. The amount of time that everything was down for was within limits. We had everything on ice that needed to be iced. We made sure to keep our freezer just closed, our walk-in cooler closed. We refused a few produce deliveries, a few perishable deliveries that were coming in scheduled for yesterday that we just had to talk to the distributor and send those back to the company.
Sujo wasn't able to open at all yesterday.
We sent everybody home, stuck around here till about noonish, I think, when the power came back on, and then kind of planned for maybe like a 5 o'clock opening. But unfortunately, the internet and phones were still down. Our credit card payments were down all day yesterday.
Across the street, Tangent also suffered from the power outage.
It was unexpected, so our first concern was making sure that the area was safe, the business was safe, but also making sure that our food was safe.
Their restaurant loaded the perishable items into a cooler trailer and brought it to their other location.
So fortunately, we didn't suffer any food loss or anything like that.
Tangent opened for dinner last night.
People were happy to come in and enjoy the AC and a cold beer.
Both restaurants are open to business again and hope it stays that way.
Once the power came back on, it was here to stay. So we're going to operate under the assumption that we're just going to be good to go from here on out, and hopefully that's the case.
Restaurant managers say they will proceed with business as usual. When asked if there would be any more rolling power outages, MG&E said all power was restored.
All right, thank you so much, Gabby. More local news now. Madison's Opera in the Park concert has been postponed. The free concert was supposed to happen tonight, but instead it will be in Garner Park at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. The Madison Opera's Facebook page says it was canceled because of the recent heat wave and tonight's storms. This is the 18th year of the summer tradition in Madison. 3 people are dead after a crash in western Wisconsin, and authorities are investigating whether a fallen stop sign may be a factor. The crash happened last night when a Minnesota man who was heading north on County Road T drove into the intersection at State Highway 64 east of New Richmond. His car was hit by a motorcyclist who officials say had the right of way. The motorcyclist, the driver, and his passenger all died. Dispatchers say they got a call moments before the crash about a fallen stop sign on County Road T. A Lyft driver in Elm Grove was arrested this morning after allegedly threatening passengers with a gun. Elm Grove police say 2 people requested a Lyft driver last night just before 10:30. They got in the car but got out after an argument with the driver, which is when the driver nearly hit one of them. Police say this is when he pulled out a gun, pointed it at the passenger's head and said, quote, "I'll blow your head off." The 47-year-old Milwaukee man is currently being held at the Waukesha County Jail for charges of endangering safety by use of a dangerous weapon. World-class musician and now retired UW-Madison professor Richard Davis was honored today in a ribbon-cutting ceremony for a new street dedicated in his name. Davis was unable to attend the ceremony himself, but he watched from a Skype call as his UW students played music to honor him and the lessons he left with them. Davis's student Wilder Dietz says Davis teaches music with tough love, ferocity, and musical excellence. Dietz is happy his teacher is being recognized for his talent and impact in the Madison area, especially while Davis is still alive.
We found it important, the idea of representation, to have in a predominantly black neighborhood feature someone who has been a black hero for Madison, for our country, for the world.
Richard Davis Lane is a block long and runs by the Salvation Army of Dane County in downtown Madison. The new street offers a shortcut to drivers traveling around the area, and it offers the possibility for new businesses to open in the nearby green space. Nearly 1,000 riders participated in the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County's bike event this morning. They biked either 8, 25, or 50 miles throughout Dane County as part of the 17th annual ride. The fundraising goal for today's bike ride was $500,000, all to support kids in southwestern Wisconsin.
This event allows us to raise unrestricted revenue to help us provide 165,000 meals and snacks to kids throughout our counties, to also provide tutors in the classrooms every single day, and to help us pick up hundreds of kids before and after school.
Even though school might be out for the summer, today's bike ride benefited Boys and Girls Club summer programs and classes for kids. Johnson says the Dane County branch is working toward building a new center in Sun Prairie, which needs about $2.5 million to be completed. 23-year-old Brittany Prain is returning to Country Thunder this weekend after she nearly died at the Wisconsin Music Festival last year. She was struck by lightning through her cell phone last July 20th. The blast destroyed her phone, blew her cowboy boot into pieces, and changed her life forever.
My brain's not sending the right signal to my body, so it's delaying my walking and it's making me walk kind of funny.
Prain also struggles with memory and has a cochlear implant to allow her to hear again. But despite all she's been through, she is returning to the festival this weekend. Singer R. Kelly will be arraigned in a federal court in New York on August 2nd. That's according to the U.S. Attorney's Office in Chicago, which said U.S. Marshals will take Kelly from Chicago to New York. Kelly has been in custody in Chicago since last week after he was arrested following separate indictments in New York and Illinois. On Tuesday, Kelly pleaded not guilty to 13 federal charges in Illinois. Kelly has also pleaded not guilty to state charges of sex abuse in Illinois. Vice President Mike Pence appeared at the Kennedy Space Center this afternoon to commemorate the 50th anniversary of Apollo 11's landing on the moon. Astronaut Buzz Aldrin joined Pence on stage. Aldrin showed him the launch pad where he began that journey and later got a standing ovation during Pence's speech.
President Kennedy summarized that epic endeavor in one simple sentence. we choose to go to the moon. And make no mistake about it, the moon was a choice, an American choice.
Mission Commander Neil Armstrong, the first man to step on the moon, died 7 years ago. Command Module pilot Michael Collins did not attend today's celebration in Florida. Still to come on News 3 Now at 6, an organization is offering rides to those who need it most, especially in hot weather. Back this weekend, we've dealt with extreme heat and now severe weather, which can create concerns for people with loved ones who are elderly and disabled. Adam Juxter joins us with how a local rideshare company is trying to help. Adam.
Yeah, well, Amanda, Carepool is a Madison startup that works similarly to a rideshare like Uber. The biggest difference being their purpose is to transport clients who can't get around on their own. Now, founder and CEO Josh Massey says the Dane County Department of Health and Human Services approached him with the idea. Prior to this, he had experience with other rideshare companies. Today, we rode along with one of the Carepool's drivers who says it's the attention to detail they have that separates them from other groups.
There's somebody who needs to have someone meet them at the door. They need help getting into the car. They need quiet music. Maybe they're on the spectrum and they don't like noise. We're going to know all of this.
And just like this one that can help put families at ease, knowing that their loved ones are cared for and getting where they need to go safely. Coming up tonight at 10, I'll tell you how a recent change for the company is allowing them to expand even more.
Sounds like something really needed. Thank you so much, Adam. Next on News 3 Now at 6, people are bracing the heat this weekend to visit Maxwell Street Days on State Street. We'll take you downtown after the break.
And after a wild weather day, much more comfortable conditions are on the way after a few more storms tonight. My forecast is coming up.
Welcome back. The 48th annual Mount Horeb Art Fair kicked off this morning. The fair on Mount Horeb's historic Main Street showcases artists and crafters from around the Midwest. It takes place on the third weekend of July each year and also features food and other family activities. If you missed the fair today, you can catch it again tomorrow from 10 to 4. And despite this weekend's heat and power outages, Maxwell Street Days return to State Street today with local food, shopping, and art. The annual sidewalk sale on State Street takes place on the third weekend of July every year.
Because of the fire yesterday, they were kind of discouraging people from coming downtown, but all of that's clear now, and you can come downtown and enjoy it.
The event is named after the Chicago Maxwell Street Outdoor Market, an urban bazaar that lasted for over a century before ending in 1994. If you missed the festival today, you can catch the sale tomorrow from 8 to 5. Several rounds of storms last night and today have left flooding, downed trees, and downed wires across northeast Wisconsin. Law enforcement and firefighters from Green Bay and several counties upstate say they were out checking on damage this afternoon. Authorities are asking anyone who sees wires down to report it to police. Officials say it could take some time to clear roads that are blocked by fallen trees or wires. Let's get a look at your first alert weather with Dave Caulfield. It's been an eventful day.
Yeah, with the heat and humidity still around for much of the day, and then the powerful storms that came through this afternoon. A few downed trees of our own across southern Wisconsin, but not as much as our friends to the north. We saw mammatus clouds like this in Blanchardville. Kenzie, thank you so much for sending this in. And a big shelf cloud really traversing much of southern Wisconsin as that line was coming through. This picture comes from Fort Atkinson. Richard, thank you so much for sending this in. Much quieter across southern Wisconsin right now. A few thunderstorms still out there across portions of central Iowa, but most of us are dry at the present time, and we're watching for maybe some redevelopment of thunderstorms close to the state line, especially during the late evening and overnight hours. But for now, we're not seeing any rain or thunderstorm activity across southern Wisconsin. We definitely did across much of the state over the last 24 hours. Take a look at all the tree damage and gusty wind reports. There were even some pretty gusty winds closer to Madison, about 50 miles per hour reported at the airport earlier this afternoon. And speaking of that shelf cloud, you can kind of see it moving through the WISC-TV Skycam earlier this afternoon. And boy, that rain and wind definitely intense for a time, but you wouldn't know that it came through with what it looks like right now. Seeing a little bit of sunshine, mostly cloudy skies in Madison on the WISC-TV Skycam. Before those thunderstorms came through, we made it to 90 degrees today, and it felt like 102 degrees this afternoon in Madison. Temperatures right now, not even close to that. We're in the lower to middle 70s across much of southern Wisconsin. But here's the big deal, folks. The heat index values are way, way lower in the 70s and 80s compared to the triple digits that we've been dealing with for most of the last 48 hours or so. Tonight, temperature is dipping into the upper 60s, mostly cloudy and mild. Chance of some more showers and storms, but I really don't think that they'll be as strong to severe, although a couple could be a little bit on the strong side. Tomorrow, temperatures near 80. The storms end early, cooler and less humid after that, with highs in the upper 70s and low 80s. So overnight, a few more showers and thunderstorms are possible, especially closer to the state line where that humidity is still a little bit elevated. Then as we head into tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies. I think the storms wrap up early in the morning. Highs will be near 80 degrees. Can't rule out a quick shower overnight Sunday, but Monday we should see mostly sunny skies return to southern Wisconsin and highs only in the mid to upper 70s. That's going to feel like an entirely different season across southern Wisconsin, and lots of sunshine and comfortable temperatures on the way for next week. Closer to normal for this time of year. We should be in the lower to middle 80s, and that's what we'll get for much of next week. Save the slight shower and thunderstorm chance on Saturday. Pretty quiet as we head into the end of July, and I think that is well deserved after what we've gone through over the last 48 to 72 hours.
And it's nice to hear normal. Oh,
yeah.
You just want normal.
Exactly.
It's summer. All right, thank you so much, Dave. Do you miss football? Don't worry, we've got highlights from the North-South All-Star Games next in sports. And first on Fox at 9, researchers are looking at the brains of kidney donors that donated the organ to a complete stranger. We'll take a look at the science and meet a pair of women connected by the ultimate gift.
Well, the weather up north definitely affecting the 43rd WSCA All-Star Games in Oshkosh. The small school game was delayed by 3 hours, so expect the large school game to start around 7:30 tonight. First half action, former Martin Luther running back Darius Crawley-Reed getting the handoff here. 20 yards into the end zone for the first touchdown of the game. 7-0 South up first. The North ties it up, but in the second quarter, Fenimore's Nick Fitzgerald was in the right place, the right time. All that timing here. There for the pick, but the South could not convert. Before halftime, the North scored one more time, but Caleb Raymond, the offensive lineman from Lakeside Lutheran, recovered the blocked punt for the score just now. The game tied at 14 as we speak. Well, free agency moves still alive and well for the Bucs front office. Kyle Korver has agreed to a one-year deal in Milwaukee worth $2.6 million. That's according to his agent. The free agent guard was reportedly torn between the Bucs and 76ers, but he has a past history and relationship with Bucs head coach Mike Budenholzer. Korver played for Coach Bud for 5 seasons in Atlanta, and he was an All-Star in 2015. The 38-year-old is one of the most accurate three-point shooters in his time. In his 16-year career, he's shooting 43% from 3, which should complement the Bucs quite nicely. Meanwhile, former Badger Bronson Koenig is heading overseas again to play in Italy this time. He's agreed to a one-year deal with a team in the Lega Basket Serie A, which is part of the Euro Cup League. Koenig last played professionally in March when he played in Puerto Rico. Well, last night's Brewers game did not go too well for the pitching portion of the team. Julie Chassin taking yet another loss after giving up 7 runs on 7 hits in 2 1/3 innings of work. Ouch. Still hasn't earned a win since April 30th, and the bullpen was okay. Jay Jackson did get a little lit up, though. But bright spot, the MVP, Christian Yelich, hitting his 35th home run of the season. He was tied with Cody Bellinger at 34. Now he's alone at the top. Fun fact, though, Yelich has more home runs than the Tigers and Orioles have wins. Maybe not for Tigers and Orioles fans. But tonight, the Brewers will go to Gio Gonzalez on the mound for the first time since May. Gonzalez was reinstated from the 10-day injured list just hours ago. Birch Smith optioned down to AAA in his place. Zach Greinke also having a pretty solid season. He will start for the Diamondbacks in about half an hour. Round 3 of the Open across the pond. JB Holmes on 3 here drains the birdie putt to put himself in the lead all by himself. And then 2019 PGA champion Brooks Koepka among the Americans making a run. A birdie putt for him as well to finish the day, shooting at 67 today. But the luck of the Irish dominating today. Shane Lowry, 8 birdies for him in this round 3, shooting a 63 today, standing alone at the top of the leaderboard heading into tomorrow's round 4. JB Holmes is in 3rd. Koepka tied for 4th, and Ricky Fowler making an appearance on the leaderboard here. He is tied for 6th place, guys.
All right, thanks so much. We're having a little bit of a break from this heat.
Yeah, I think we should get a break from the storms as well this evening. Not too much showing up on high-resolution Doppler, but there could be some more thunderstorms overnight. It feels a lot better outside in the 70s compared to the triple digits just a few hours ago in some spots. 7 to 10 day forecast showing it feeling even better as we head into the next couple of days. Could have some showers and storms early tomorrow morning. After that, though, a lot of sunshine on the way with temperatures in the upper 70s and lower to middle 80s.
Happy to hear it. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great night.